Namaste to all. We will see another interesting topic today as well. Please see the video in full for understanding the topic in full. As I tell in all the videos, whatever knowledge I have gained in my life is only due to my Guruji Swami Ram Swarupji Yogacharya. He lives in Himachal Pradesh. He is a Ashtanga yogi, a living legend and a philosopher of Vedas. Now let's get into the topic.
मनुष्य नहीं वे प्रभुवाणी है, आओ लौट चलें उस देश जहाँ मुनि वेद सुनाते हैं.
As you can see, the topic says if God exists, if the existence of God is truth, then He is not obliterating my sins, my sufferings, my pains. God is seeing that I am suffering, then why I am still suffering? God has to finish off my suffering. So this question have been popular and many modern gurus have tried to attempt to answer this question. Many people have asked this question to my Guruji in the website vedmandir.com, and my Guruji has given wonderful answer from Vedas, because every knowledge has been given by God Himself in Vedas. So we have to understand the answer to all these kind of questions through Vedas and not through anybody who is just speaking out of his textbook knowledge. So whatever I have learned from my Guruji, I am trying to share with you. This is not my knowledge and I am not an authority to discuss this kind of topics. I am just trying to share with you because I see in website, in YouTube, many modern gurus giving very wrong answers to these kind of questions, this question is indeed very deep and really needed for us, everyone, to understand. Before directly going to the answer for these questions, we have to understand some basics about God. What is the quality of God? Because unless we understand what is the quality of God, we will not believe that there is a God. And even if we believe there is a God, without understanding His original quality, we will try to blame, hey God, what I have done. Suppose somebody gets accident and our close relation or close friend, we'll say, hey God, what this guy did, this guy is a very good guy, why you are giving him punishment? There are so many people who are enjoying the life but they are culprits, why you are not punishing them? We will tell these kind of dialogues in our mind itself, or probably share with others, because of the reason that we don't understand the quality of God. So the quality of God, where to see the quality of God, or where to search what is God, who is that God, what is His qualities? Unless this knowledge is told by Himself, because suppose I am introducing myself. I have studied MA literature, I am a BTech mechanical engineer, I can design aircraft engines. If I am introducing myself, then only you will know that who I am, right? Similarly, God has introduced Himself A to Z in Vedas, and God has given who is that God and what is who I am. That is, who is God and what is His qualities He has described in Vedas. So we have to go to Vedas to understand the qualities of God. Some of the qualities, God says that when this universe is not existing, that means during the Pralaya stage, during the final destruction stage, I exist, I don't need air to breathe, I don't need water to survive, I don't need any dependency, I am independent, I am still alive, and this universe is not there. And you are there. You are in Shushupt coma stage, you don't know what is happening. You means Jivatma, and there is another non-alive matter, which is a dead matter, the non-alive, non-living matter. And then with my power I create this universe. So God says that God can exist without this universe. So that means this universe is created not for God, it is created for us. This is the number one point we have to understand. At least when we understand this purpose of creation is us, for us, then we will be a little bit satisfied that probably the reason for suffering is also us, not God. And secondly, God says in His attribute, in His quality, that His name is also Ariyama, Supreme Judge. He does not do any partiality, He does not favor anyone, He does not forgive any sins of anyone. These are some of the qualities, because today in many religions there is a process of forgiving sins. You do a sin, you go to some place and then you say, this is the sin I have done, please forgive me, then you will be forgiven. This is not the quality of God. If God forgives sin, then he becomes a sinner. So God says that I never forgives anybody's sins, neither I forget anybody's good things. So God gives the exact benefit in terms of pleasure or happiness for every good deed, and in terms of sins and sufferings for every bad deed. This is the God's quality. And third one is God is formless, God is bodiless, God is mindless. He does not require any of this form to sustain, because He sustains even in pralaya, in the final destruction. So this universe, some religions, I have seen some people saying that God is trying to satisfy His ego by giving sufferings to human beings or giving pleasures to us. No, it is wrong, because God does not have a mind to satisfy a ego. That is the quality of God, and God Himself describes these qualities in Vedas. So number one is, when we understand this is God, then the number 2 point is, then who is the reason for my suffering? Some philosophy says, like Vedanta philosophy, some philosophy says ignorance is the reason for your suffering. But ignorance is not a matter in itself. Ignorance is a quality. Ignorance is like, I am a good person. It's my quality. So similarly, ignorance is arising out of where we have to go. But I am not going into philosophical aspect. I am just coming to logical aspect. So God says in Vedas, this universe is created for you to enjoy the benefit of your karmas which you have done since time immemorial. That means everyone has to understand karma is also eternal. Unless this karma is finished, we will not be able to settle off. We will always take this birth, either human birth or in the birth of animals or insects or virus or birds, etc., etc. So human body or any body is needed for a soul to enjoy the benefits, either through pleasure or pains or sufferings or happiness, etc. So this body is needed. Otherwise, the jivatma, like in pralaya stage, in the final destruction, the jivatma, the soul still existed, but soul could not understand where is pralaya, because soul needs a body to understand anything. Soul needs a mind to understand anything. And the third portion is this body, mind, the sun, moon, earth. These are non-alive matters, and this is also created from one raw material or one basic material, basic tattva, that is called as prakriti. So God creates this universe from prakriti for us, and we are doing our deeds here. We are enjoying the benefits in terms of pleasure or pains or sufferings, whatever it is, based on our previous life deeds. And who is giving this judgment? That is God. So God is not giving us pleasure and pain just because He wants to satisfy His ego, because He does not have a bodily form to satisfy His. There is no ego for God. So God is giving judgment for our own karmas. One may question that how this karma arised. This is coming just like, after day night comes, after night day comes. This cycle goes on and on and on and on. Similarly, this universe destruction, creation goes on and on, because we need this. Without this universe around us, we cannot exist by ourselves. We need our human body to sustain, just because our body can sustain only because of this universe being around us, right? So God is creating this universe for us. The reason is because of our karma. So we can tell hypothetically this can never happen, but hypothetically, when there is no karma for all the jivatma of this universe, there is no need for any creation. So God creates this creation for us to take the karma cycle. So we have to understand that we are the reason for our sufferings, and we are the reason for the pains. Now the last question before I end this video. This is a topic which we can discuss for years together, and my Guruji has been teaching this knowledge for the last 40 years, still not over. So I cannot tell all this secret in 10 minutes time or 15 minutes time, but I'm just trying to give a cream of that, whatever I have learned from my Guruji. For more information, of course, you need to come to my Guruji. You need to serve a learned Acharya, not my Guruji or any other Guruji who is a Samadhist Purush. You can understand the karma philosophy in detail. Okay, the last question is, how do I obliterate how do I put a full stop to these sufferings or happiness? Unless knowledge is given, knowledge is never gained. So God says in Vedas, I am the source of peace. I am the source of happiness. Happiness that is never-ending happiness. Not the happiness like we get some sensual enjoyment, sensual pleasures. and then after some time it is over. Then again we feel sad, we are trying to search something else. This is not the happiness of God. God says that for you to enjoy the eternal bliss or moksha, liberation, final liberation, you have to come to me. You have to understand who is me. And for you to understand who is me, you have to understand where I have described who is me. And God has described what is God in Vedas only. And God says, I cannot teach you Vedas because I am formless, I am bodiless, I don't have a mouth to preach to you. Of course, I inspire the yogi from within him or her to teach you the Vedic knowledge. So God says, for you to understand who is me, you have to go to learn Vedas from a person who has realized me and who has realized the Vedas inside his heart during this final liberation, when he attained that or when she attained that. So this is how we can obliterate our sins. Unless we understand what is the fundamental knowledge, how to realize this God, which we will learn once we attain a lotus feet of a yogic master who will teach us Vedas, who will teach us Ashtanga Yoga, and who will teach us how to control the senses. Today in the public there are so many courses designed by the modern gurus. The courses are patented. In fact, trademark have been there is a trademark for each and every course. Somebody says this engineering, some kriya, this is invented by our Guruji, this is invented by this Guruji. So if you want to join the course, please come and pay some 5,000 rupees for 1 week, 10,000 rupees. Personally, you will be taught by my Guruji. And there is a reason also given that we are running so many institutions, schools, colleges, free education, free meals. So we need fees to sustain. But this is not the duty of a guru as explained by God in Vedas. Okay, I am not going into that topic, but we have to understand that why we have to go for a patented course for us to realize who I am. It is our natural birthright for us to realize who I am. And for that we have to go to a master who has realized who I am, who has realized who that God is. This is all very simple. So we need to find that guru who knows who I am. We have to go to him, and he will teach us Ashtanga Yoga and Vedas, and he will teach us how to live a life adopting Vedas. And God says in Yajurveda mantra, na karma lipyate nare. That means when you start kurvan nevehi karumani, when you start doing Vedic karmas, Vedic deeds as prescribed by God himself in Vedas, then you will not be entitled to enjoy the benefit or pain or pleasure or suffering in the next janmas. That means there will come a time, by adopting Vedic path in each and every janma, there will come a time where there will not be any further karma benefit for us to take a human body form. That means all the karma, my account is zero, then I don't need to take another human body, then God gives us the final liberation. This is the total philosophy which I try to summarize in very short form. So we have to understand the truth is in Vedas. The truth is in the lotus feet of a master who has realized God and Vedas. So we have to revert back to Vedas, and this world will be a better place for all of us to live in. There will not be scarcity of water. There will not be any, not only corona, there will not be any diseases, because this is the description which was there around 5,000 years, until 5,000 years back. There was no people who are suffering. There were very, very less people who tried to go against Vedas, and those people have been strongly punished by the government, because each and every ministers in the government used to be learned of Vedas, and they used to serve their acharyas, and they used to respect the dharma. Dharma means the Vedic dharma. So we have to revert back to Vedas to find the exact answer for this topic and this question. I request you to subscribe my channel, request you to forward this information to people who are looking for this kind of topics. I will meet you soon in another video with more information, with more interesting topics, useful for all of us. If you have any comments, please drop in messages in the comment box. I will try to reply to you. Please visit our website vedmandir.com, run by my Guruji himself. He will answer to all your questions. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.